What do you not know about the downside of being a flight attendant? Many flight attendants will share with you the aspects of being a flight attendant that you don't have. The benefits of traveling around the world, the steady income, the benefits of free tickets. There are two sides to everything. Today I'd like to talk to you about the downside of being a flight attendant. What are the downsides of being a flight attendant? Many people often ask me about the various problems of flight attendants. Many people are still very eager to work as a flight attendant. As a flight attendant worker, I would like to share my views with you. I share all of my own very real experiences. It is also a way to make people more aware of and understand the job of a flight attendant. I also want you to think about whether this job is suitable for you or not. It's a great opportunity for you to think about whether this is the right job for you, rather than blindly pursuing the glamour on the outside, while ignoring the hard work on the inside. The flight attendant is a professional, comprehensive, and very mechanical job, guarding the safety of passengers in the air. What are the disadvantages of being a flight attendant? The first point, and the one I find most unacceptable: the irregularity of the work schedule. How irregular is it? For example, today, you might be flying an early flight, getting up at 3 or 4 in the morning, and tomorrow you might be flying a late flight, maybe at night. And then tomorrow you might be flying a late flight, maybe 2 or 3 p.m. Your biological clock will become very disorganized and chaotic. Intercontinental is a great way to travel around the world. But it's the longest nights, the overnights. Some intercontinental flights are over 10 hours long, and you'll only be in the area for a day. Do you think you should go out and have fun or not? I remember we had a saying before: to spend your life playing. The damage that irregular hours can do to our bodies is too great. If you fly for a few years, your body will be in a subhealthy state. For example, acne, hair loss, endocrine disorders, menstrual disorders, chronic insomnia, etc. Like me, my colleague's flight bag is always equipped with painkillers, melatonin, and some drugs. The second point is the problem of flight delays. A delayed plane means that no matter how long the delay is waiting on the ground, the flight attendants do not receive any allowance. I remember the longest delay I've ever experienced was BJ City to CS City, then to BJ City, then to CD City. I worked from 11 a.m. on the first day until 8 a.m. on the second day, with hardly any rest in between, and after the flight, there was not a single dollar of allowance, and the entire flight lasted more than 20 hours. The long delays are one aspect. There is also the problem of unhappy passengers and complaints from passengers, and as a flight attendant, your professionalism requires you to be patient and smiling. No matter how unhappy or irritated you are at the time, you must be patient and smile to explain to the passengers, and then to serve. The third point, the problem of relationships. Even if you and your boyfriend work in the same city, it can become a long-distance relationship. When I used to travel a lot, I would fly almost 3 intercontinental routes a month, or like 3 or 4 BJ City duty flights, so you'll probably spend less than half of your time a month. You'll be in the same place you live, weekends and holidays are closed. So there's very little time to see each other. The other thing that people are more interested in is having a relationship with a pilot or a male flight attendant. It's a family or a relationship with a flight attendant. In this case, they may see each other less often. I've been back to CD City for a few days. For example, I'll be back in CD City for a few days to rest, and then you might be flying away, then you might come back, and I have another flight out of the country, and I fly out again. If you're not a very social person, you may have a narrower circle of life or a narrower social circle. The fifth point is that there are very few holidays. My annual leave is only 7 days. And we don't have any other holidays. You have to work for 10 years before you get an additional annual leave. So you might say, well, I don't have any left, so I'll take it. It's a very difficult thing to do. You need to get a sick leave note from a tertiary care hospital to take leave. I've heard that some colleagues have injured themselves or burned themselves. The sixth point is that your time will be limited. You will have less time for yourself. When you have a break, you feel very tired and don't want to do anything else. You don't want to do anything else. The seventh point is that you are satisfied with the status quo. The job of a flight attendant may mean that you earn more than your peers in the early stages. It is easy to be satisfied with the status quo. It's not like other industries where people are more motivated to work hard. Of course, this also depends on the person. Eighth point, appearance anxiety, climbing psychology, etc. There are more beautiful girls in this circle of flight attendants. It is easy to form anxiety about appearance. There is also the psychology of comparison. But then, these will change as a person grows and matures. After talking so much about the disadvantages of flight attendants today, do you still want to be a flight attendant? Do you still want to be a flight attendant? I'm not saying it's a bad career. Every career has its pros and cons. It's up to you to balance it out. It doesn't mean that it's a bad job.